Hello Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. This is your love life reading for the first half of February. So the first card that we have coming up as your underlying energy is the Strength card. This is actually a great card to have in this position. It speaks of the strength to overcome any obstacles that come your way. It's very much about the inner strength, the inner resilience that we have that allows us to push through problems or issues or anything that comes up. Now, the downside to this card, if there is one, is that when it does show up, it does show that will be a need for strength. Like there will be issues or obstacles that are in your way, but at least you know that you will have the strength to get through them. So like I said, that's a great card, a great energy to have as your underlying energy for your reading, especially when you combine it with the Chariot, which lies at the heart of your reading. And that's what your love life during this period revolves around. The Chariot speaks of victory. It says like victory is assured, but that victory is assured through your own determination, through your own work, and the progression that you make through your own efforts. As we can see in this card, we have two horses pulling a chariot. One of the horses represents our head, the other one our heart. And it's crucial that both are aligned and moving in the same direction. So the charioteer, and the charioteer here would be you, has to balance head and heart, has to control both and make sure that they're both moving in the same direction. And if you can do that, then yeah, the card says that victory will be assured. This does speak about progress being made at this time. And again, it combines, like I said, it combines really well with the Strength card, because not only do you have the strength to deal with anything, but also the determination to overcome and to win as well. Now, it doesn't really surprise me that you're getting these kinds of like strength and the Chariot cards coming up, because Mars, your ruling planet, has actually moved into Aries now. So Mars is home, and that is going to be giving you that extra feeling of power and determination. That may have been something that's been lacking for you. We have the Seven of Wands coming up as a past energy. The Seven of Wands can be kind of a defensive energy. In Aries, that's not something that you do very well. You are more of a kind of offensive. You always feel more comfortable being on the offensive, always kind of going after what you want, moving forward, making that first move. But with the Seven of Wands here as a past energy, what that says is that maybe you've been going through a time in your love life where you've kind of felt like things were coming at you and you've had to stand your ground. I mean, you've been able to stand your ground and fight off, the challenges or whatever are coming at you, but it is more of a defensive stance rather than an offensive one, as I said. Seven of Wands also speaks of like a test, so it can be a testing time. Sometimes it's literal tests, but more often than not, it's just testing times in our life when everything seems to be coming at us from every direction. And that doesn't just have to be in our love life, it can be other areas of our life as well. Because, you know, if we're not happy with our work or our friendships or other areas, that is going to affect our love life as well. But what the Seven of Wands does kind of force us to do, and it may have forced you to do this, is to understand and to define what it is that you stand for. So if you're standing up for something in your love life, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's the people that you want to date or how you feel about dating. This kind of testing time that the Seven of Wands represents is going to have allowed you to really understand what it is that you're willing to fight for, what it is that what you stand for. I mean, that is what the card says, stand your ground. What is it that you're willing to stand your ground for? And it feels like a lot of you have now realized this, and you know, you've defined what this means for you personally. And that's whether you're in a relationship, single, or, you know, whatever your relationship status might be. But you move from this to a very kind of grounded, solid energy, because we have the Queen of Pentacles coming up in the present. The Queen of Pentacles like I said, is a very earthy, grounded energy. She knows what she wants. She's willing to work hard for it. She's very successful in what she does, but she's also very nurturing and supportive as well. Now, for some of you, that's how you're going to have been feeling after the Seven of Wands. So it feels like you're not so much on the defensive now. You're more settled and comfortable with where you are in your love life. For others of you, this is going to be someone that you're dealing with. This may be your partner. This may be someone that you have your eye on. It can represent an earth sign, which would be a Virgo, Taurus or a Capricorn. But it's always a little bit misleading to say that, because it may be an earth sign, but that earth sign may be somewhere else in their chart. It doesn't necessarily have to be their sun sign. It may be their rising or their moon or even their Mars or Venus. But whether this Queen of Pentacles is you or whether it's someone that you're involved with, and remember, even though it's a queen, it can be a male or a female energy. Combining this with the Strength card that is above it, that is a very strong, very formidable energy, but that kind of quiet strength. The kind of, what I'm really getting from this is very kind of solid, grounded energy. Where you don't feel like you have to defend what you're doing anymore. You don't feel like you have to fight off stuff, like you are just comfortable being who you are and where you are. For many of you, that's going to mean that this time in your love life is a time when you're pretty confident and stable. There may not be anything happening for some of you. It may be that there are still problems with the partner, or, you're still worried about who you're going to date or whether that person that you like actually likes you back. But you feel more comfortable in dealing with these problems or dealing with these kind of obstacles or issues when they come up. And it actually leads to a really nice energy in the future where we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups often speaks more of friendship than it does of love and romance or those types of things. But what it does indicate is support, where you give support and you receive support. It may be socializing and hanging out with friends. It talks of a support network that you may have. Now, for some of you, this, especially if you're single, this may be that you're now going out with your friends more, that you have that grounded energy and you're able to get out there and socialize more and just spend time with the people that you love. For those of you that are single, some of you may meet someone through your friends. I also feel like this support network of the Three of Cups is what helps you balance your head and your heart, because it sits right underneath the Chariot. So we have maybe your friends giving you maybe advice, or even just being there for you, giving you that love, making you feel loved and giving you that support that allows you to balance your head and heart and propel yourself forward in your love life. I know when we talk about love, we think of romance and lovers and all of these types of people, but the love that we have in every other aspect of our life. So, for our parents, for our siblings, for friends, for our neighbors even, that love is as important as well, because when we feel loved, it means we're more able to offer love and to go out and look for love of the romantic variety. For those of you that are in a relationship, it may be now that you're connecting with your partner, or in the future, connecting with your partner on that kind of friends level, where it's not just about how you relate to each other romantically, it's how you support each other. Maybe you're having fun together, or you're able to go out on a date together, and that may have been something that you've not done in a very long while. As we end this period, we have the Ten of Cups coming up as the crowning energy. And this is a great card. It speaks of, it's a happily ever after card, so that's what it kind of represents. We see rejoicing here. This can be celebration for some of you. Some of you may be getting married. This, or be looking to get married. I mean, even if you're not getting married during this phase, there will be this urge or this feeling to want to celebrate the love that you have. And even if you're single, this may, because it's Valentine's Day, obviously, at the end of this phase. So maybe you decide to go out to some kind of Valentine's ball, or to do something, even if you're single, go out to some kind of singles mixer or something. But there is this kind of urge to celebrate the emotions that you have, because it's reaching the end of a phase, and tens are all about endings, reaching the end of a cycle. And cups are all about emotions and happiness and emotional journeys that we take. And it feels like you've reached the end of this emotional journey that you've been on. That may be exploring what it is that you want from your love life. It may be how you feel about someone. Some of you may have split up with someone and it's taken you a while to get over them. This Ten of Cups energy, and even that Three of Cups energy before it, they kind of speak of doing that, of being more stable and more comfortable in your emotions, like you're starting to feel again, especially with the Ten of Cups sitting underneath that Seven of Wands. It feels like if you were having to defend how you felt, or if you were worrying about how you felt about something. I know that sounds very strange, but sometimes we do. Sometimes we might have feelings for someone and we don't want to have feelings for that person. The Ten of Cups here speaks very much about being very okay with how we're feeling, and not just okay with it, like you love those feelings. It's a feeling of happiness, of rejoicing. I do sometimes see like a reunion in the Ten of Cups, but that's only if you want it. That's not going to happen. Like whenever I say anything like that, I get loads of comments from people saying, "I don't want my ex back." It doesn't say that. It may be a reunion with, I don't know, like a class reunion, or people like the friends that the Three of Cups shows. Like reconnecting with people that maybe you've been dealing with so many problems that you've not been connecting with as many loved ones in your life as you would have liked to. And that kind of feels like it's changing as well. Overall, you have this very kind of grounded energy coming in and real stability showing up in your emotions. I mean, those are great cards with strength there, with the Queen of Pentacles, whether that's you or someone else. The Chariot shows direction, shows movement. And the Ten of Cups is just fabulous right there at the end. If you need some kind of extra advice, there are 2 oracle cards that are pulled for you. The first is from the Romance Angels deck, and it is Heart-to-Heart Conversations. And the card says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Now, if you are in a relationship, this, like I said, shows a deeper connection, a deeper bonding with your partner, where you're able to converse, maybe like we do with our friends. Like we don't often, when it comes to our friendships, we can really connect with them and speak to them at a very open, honest level, but we don't always do that with our partners. If you're single, you may now find people that you are connecting with, maybe at first at a conversation level where you're able to, learn more about each other, and then from there feelings arise. I do see with that Three of Cups coming up as a future energy that, like I said, some of you will be meeting people through your friends, or maybe they are friends and friendships turn into something more. And then the other oracle card that I have for you from the Whispers of Love oracle deck is Choose Love. And the card says, you always have a choice as to what you should do. That's a very important message, because we do always have a choice. We can't make people behave the way we want them to. I mean, if someone leaves us, if someone decides they don't want to be in a relationship with us, there's nothing we can do about that. If we have to work long hours and we can't really get out there and date as much, there's not much that we can do about that too. But we can choose love. We can choose that, maybe be more loving with our colleagues if we have to work long hours. That's a bit of a silly example, but that, you do see what I mean? That even no matter what the constraints are, we always have a choice within that situation. This is a free will dimension, as I say every single time, and we do have choices. And those choices, they're not just whims. They are things that affect how we move forward in our love lives. They affect our lives. They affect the futures that are open to us. I mean, for example, if you look at the Seven of Wands energy here that's coming up in the past, if you were to decide that, if that being on the defensive, or say you decided that you didn't want to stand for something, that changes everything. If you decide you don't want to stand your ground when it comes to a relationship, you're just going to back off, that means the end of that relationship. And also, you're not going to feel as comfortable or as stable as the Queen of Pentacles does here in the present, because you'll have felt like you've given up on something. Sometimes you have to give up on things, but never forget that you have a choice. And that choice should come from love. We can try to be logical sometimes. If you look at the Chariot, and if you let the horse that governs the head run off by itself, you're not going to get very far. You need the heart. You need the heart to balance the scales.